Hey guys, it's Mr. Cologne or Mr.C, a layman for reinforcemyfaith.com, and I wanted to talk about that particular passage in Genesis 6, verses 1 through 4, about the Nephilim and the biblical figure of Enoch, who walked with God and ascended to heaven. First Enoch, the apocryphal book of. All right, so Genesis 6, verses 1 through 4 in the RSV says, "When the people began to multiply on the face of the earth, and ground, and the daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that they were fair, and they took wives for themselves of all that they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in mortals forever, for they are flesh, their days shall be 120 years. And we have here that the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans, who bore children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown." Who are the Nephilim? Well, I am using a Catholic introduction to the Bible that has three possibilities: fallen angels, ancient kings, or sons of Seth. And number one reads for fallen angels. This interpretation is very popular in antiquity. It is reflected in the Jewish writings such as Jubilees and First Enoch. According to this view, angels left heaven to cohabitate with human women and bore monstrous children. So think of Grendel in Beowulf, right? Despite its popularity, this theory from a theological perspective is impossible since angels are spiritual, non-corporeal beings. This means that they do not have bodies and hence cannot reproduce with human beings. From a literary perspective, a major weakness of this theory is that the angelic beings would never be mentioned anywhere else in Genesis. Moreover, in the narrative, the flood is the result of the sin of the sons of God, yet it is not angelic beings but man who is blotted out from the earth. This view turns Genesis 6 into a philosophical, incredible, and literary inexplicable fragment in which these supposed angelic beings come out of nowhere and then immediately disappear from the narrative. So spooky, mysterious. Number two, the ancient kings theory can be supported by the biblical and ancient Near Eastern practice of calling kings and other rulers sons of God. From this point of view, Genesis 6:2 describes the growth of royal harems. Parallels for this concept can be found in other ancient Near Eastern literature. And then finally, the one that the book and most of modern Catholic biblical scholarship goes with, the sons of Seth interpretation. It is common view that a son is a covenant category. In the narrative of Genesis, the sons of God are Sethites, heirs of the covenant, adoptive divine sonship from Adam. The daughters of men would be the women descended from Cain, the line that has turned its back on the presence of God. From a literary perspective, the Sethite interpretation is supported by the fact that the Pentateuch, the first 5 books in the Bible, the books of Moses of the Torah, repeatedly depicts intermarriage between men and the covenant line of and women. From other peoples who do not worship the Lord as something to be avoided, it is also makes more sense of the flood that follows. As a result of intermarriage, the covenant people became so corrupted that all the world is violent like Cain's descendants, with the sole exception of Noah and his family, the righteous remnants of the line of Seth. And it goes on to say that this Sethite interpretation is bolstered by St. Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas. And remember that all truth is God's truth. So I just wanted to talk about Enoch, where else and other passages that are mysterious that are found elsewhere. These are all from the New Testament, the book of Jude. It was of these also that Enoch in the 7th generation from Adam prophesied, Behold, the Lord came with his holy myriads to execute judgment on all and to convict all the ungodly of all their deeds of ungodliness, which they had committed in such an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Jude. The angels, also, I should say, continuing from Jude, which is earlier, and the angels that did not keep their own position but left their proper dwelling have been kept by him in eternal chains and nether gloom until the judgment of the great day. All right, from St. Peter 1, we have chapter 3, in which he went and preached to the spirits in prison who formerly did not obey when God's patient waited in the days of Noah during the building of the ark, in which a few, that is 8 persons, were saved through the water. And then we have 2 Peter, for if God did not spare the angels when they sinned, but cast them out into hell and committed them into the pits of the nether gloom to be kept until the judgment. So we look at this times and the canonical inspired scriptures that echo non-canonical works. And we have here the book of Enoch, first Enoch. And who was Enoch in the Bible? He was the great, 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 great grandson of Adam. Enoch literally walked with God. Enoch never died as other humans died. God took Enoch. All right. So we have here that Enoch walked with God for more than 300 years, and that it is a close relationship with God. The apocryphal first book of Enoch has a couple of themes here of angelic revelation about the fallen angels and Nephilim, eschatology and end of times and final judgment, moral and ethical teachings, and authority of Enoch's writings. And I'll go over a couple of these. Angelic revelation. Enoch, the protagonist, is taken on a heavenly journey and receives revelations from angels, including the archangel Uriel. So you can add him to Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael and Tobit as 4 angels that are named in the larger biblical canon of the Greek, Orthodox, I just say Orthodox, and Ethiopian. The book emphasizes the interaction between celestial and earthly realms. And we have here the central narrative. The book of Enoch involves fallen angels, refers to as the Watchers, who descend to earth and interact with human women and produce a race of giants called Nephilim. So this goes off with that first translation about who these are, about fallen angels. And we have here that the book of Enoch is in 5 neat categories. If we outline it, we have the book of the Watchers, chapters 1 to 36, book of the Parables, chapters 37 to 71, an astronomical book, chapters 72 to 82, the books of dreams and visions, chapters 83 to 90, and then the Epistle of Enoch, 91 to 107. The book of Enoch will be a good read if after you read the New Testament and after you read the Old Testament and you're firm in your faith and you want maybe some background, but because it sounds like it's juicy, but it's better to be firm in your faith before you start going on about the book of Enoch. And yes, there's just mysteries in the Bible, giants and other things, and serpents, winged sun serpents, and especially before Noah, so the days of Noah, as man sinned, and Christ talks about how it was really terrible and how that it will be in the last days. So hopefully this gave you a little background in terms of Enoch and the Nephilim and Genesis 6.